Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome, or hopefully it's welcome back to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, the President, Founder, and Chief Listening Officer here at our network. Our show today is A Woman's Prerogative. We have a small panel, but we're small and mighty, so let me welcome our other panelists for today. I also want to announce that Mariska Dupree, who joined us last week as a guest, is joining our panel. She'll be starting in September, so we're thrilled to have her. Let's welcome JENETTA Barry and the Epiphany Process. Hello, JENETTA. How are you?
Everybody. Hi, Dr. JACALYN. I'm well and great to be back again.
Third show today for you.
Hearty discussions. My third show, and soon it'll be 4 shows in a day.
Absolutely. We'll talk a little bit about
quite amazing. Yeah.
And our next panelist actually referred someone to the platform. She has been a guest a few times. Her name is Sarah Jillian. And today we launched our first show together as co-hosts. It's called Dream Believers. Let's welcome the PR agent to the stars, TRACY LAMOURIE. Hello.
Hi. Thank you so much. Always thrilled to be here.
Nice to have you here. I know you have a lot of exciting things going on as well, which we'll get to. And we've actually got Dr. DESZIREE Richardson is with us. Yay. Hello. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here once again. Hi.
Hi. It's nice to have you back. We have some wonderful things happening here with our panelists. I'm going to start with Dr. DESZIREE, since you just popped in here. What is going on with you? You've got a big event coming up. I saw an announcement about Madeline Chan as well. Tell us more.
Oh, my goodness. This is amazing to talk about. I feel so overjoyed to know that the response is going so perfectly well. Lots in store for this November 12th here in London, live and in living color. We are going to be celebrating women from all across the world, Indigenous women who are making a difference, women who has gone above and beyond what was required of them. And we are about ready to celebrate them. This is the first ever celebrations that we are going to be having. And also we will be launching the GOHA, the Gentlemen of Heart Awards, and this is for men of virtues. They said, well, I say, one of my quotes is, the greater his heart, the greater the man, the greater his kingdom, the greater his people. The greater his people is the greater society, the greater society, the greater the children, the greater the world, and the greater the next generation. So I am so overjoyed with the excitement for GOHA as well, launching the men, celebrating men as well, on the night of Women of Heart Awards here in London. So we about to get ready, dust off all our beautiful gowns that we've been hanging in the wardrobe for quite a while. I myself haven't been out in quite a while since lockdown, and I'm not really a party pooper, but it'd be nice to to dress up pretty and go and celebrate, rub shoulders with some amazing people who are doing incredible things in our world, and give thanks and appreciate life, and come together as unity to create that magic. What we need in the world today is peace, love, and harmony.
Absolutely beautiful. Congratulations. I want to go over to TRACY. I know I just saw that there's a magazine cover with your name on it, and I know you're going over to Malta to do some exciting things. Do tell us more, please.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just found out about the magazine cover today. I was reached out to about, I don't even know how they know about me, but a couple of weeks ago by a magazine called Total Prestige. And they just said, oh, we'd like you to be a part of our what was it? The Inspiring Professionals feature. And I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. Sure, thank you. And they sent me interview questions and I answered them. And then today they reached out to me and told me that I'm going to be on the cover of the October issue. So it's a US magazine called Total Prestige that covers primarily business and life, but also like lifestyle and luxury and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. And speaking of luxury, yeah, Malta, which is like the playground of the 1% or something. And I'm blessed. It's my third trip there. I was there first on a business trip with a friend in 2019 who was speaking at a conference. I went to that same conference 2 years later when I was invited, and they came to Toronto recently, and I was asked to be a panelist, host a panel here in Toronto. It was on plant medicine and also on it's primarily on med tech, medical technology companies. And so now they invited me to Malta in November to do a keynote speech at their big international conference, which is really huge. And it'll be on how PR and marketing, primarily PR, can help advance medical technology companies and plant medicine companies and getting them names out there. But also before that, I'm going for actually a non-business trip, but of course I've got a bunch of business going on during it. But my mom, who saw how much, the pictures of my trip in Malta last year, said, you've never looked so happy of all the places you've been. I really want to go there. And we've never done a girls trip. We've never done a trip just the two of us. So she said she really would like to go just the two of us. So we booked that for last January. But then in December, there was the what was it, the Omicron. It was all over and things were crazy with traveling again. And Malta was making you wear a mask walking down the street or walking down the beach by yourself. And I was like, yeah, no. And so we rebooked it for September. So we are going, my mom and I, in 6 weeks for a 2-week trip. So like 13 nights at a nice hotel with my mom. And then after that, a month later, I'm back with my husband for the speaking engagement. So blessed, blessed and busy.
What a gift. That's amazing. And our topic today is actually our relationship with our mother. So we'll delve into that a little bit deeper.
Yeah. I thought that was really timely. Yeah.
Yes. JENETTA Barry, you have something special coming up. It's the Safari bike ride, all part of World Jenny's Day. Tell us about that.
Yeah, this is something that's going to happen every year. It's such a special event, and the people organizing it and the safari lodges that we'll be staying at have been so very hospitable and kind and made this safari as reasonable as it can be, considering that when you arrive at the base of Mount Kilimanjaro, you go, and we're even inviting people who can't bike for very long to do a shorter bike every day and be collected by the backup vehicles. And those who don't want to ride a bike at all, watch the space, we just go with the backup vehicles. And we're going to have 6 days and 6 nights in Savo West and Savo East game parks. Cycling, people will be cycling through with a different lodge every night. Beautiful safari lodges, ending in the final day in Watamu in the north of Mombasa, north coast of Kenya, with a lap of honor and an awards ceremony. But it's a trip of a lifetime, and I still think, wow, at £1,500 for 6 days and 6 nights anywhere in Kenya would come to more than that. And this includes the bike and full board, and it's an amazing fundraiser for World Jenny's Day, so that we can have our special gala evening next year, either in New York or London. So looking forward to that. It'll be a magical thing to watch people achieving and exercising and doing something that's got such a worthy cause. So yeah, that's at the end of this month for 6 days and 6 nights.
Thank you. I feel honored to be with such an incredible group of accomplished women. So keep it up. And speaking of women, today we're going to talk about our mothers and the relationship that we've had with them over time and how it shaped who we are. We do have a comment from one of our wonderful, loyal followers. Adam, nice to have you back. I think this is the third show today or fourth show. Thank you. Hi, all. I don't have a relationship with my mother as she abused me growing up and got me on alcohol by the age of 12 years old. And I was brainwashed to be told alcohol is the answer to everything. But best thing I did was distance myself away from her as I'm now living the best life I can. Wow. Thank you so much for that share. Who wants to comment?
You know, Adam, for you to be able to step away from that and look at it objectively when one kind of takes what one's mother guides you to be and do as gospel, and to be able to go, okay, I won't do that, and become your own person. That takes a lot of courage and stickability. And the more I get to know about you, the more I'm in awe. And well done, because again, such a role model for many people who've had similar things happen to them. Well done.
Thank you, JENETTA. TRACY, I think you wanted to say something?
I was just going to say, it takes a lot of strength to not to speak out about that so that other people can, because it really does make a difference when other people watching who may not speak out about those things hear that kind of openness, because people can say, that's me too. And that's really powerful. So thank you for, just sharing your story and, for being who you are. And I love the phrase, that's something I saw in a meme one day, but I always say, I love this one. It says, we didn't get this far to only get this far. And I always just like to say that, so regardless of whatever struggles you have in life, you've clearly beat those. Even if you're still beating them, even if you're still waking up having challenges, you've gotten here instead of where you were there. And so, that's awesome. And just keep on going. That's inspiring. Look at it that way.
Thanks, TRACY. Adam has a follow-up comment. It took me attempting suicide to get me to get back up. Desiree, would you like to comment?
A thing to learn that so many, children go through, these situations with their parents. I mean, this is the real world. This is real life. So everything is not perfect in our world. But what I can say is that, to being in a toxic relationship, whether it's with, family member, it is really not good for our well-being. So I think it's always the best thing to step away. And, I really would say to him that, it's very hard for people to talk about these things publicly, but it would also open the eyes and the ears to know that people are facing these difficulties and situations, and it's okay to talk about it, because toxicity is not good for anyone, whether, you're being the daughter or the son to your mom or from your mother to you. It's just not right. And all we need to do is to step back and send our parents love from a distance. Just love them from a distance. That's all.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have another comments. I grew up alcohol depending, and now I've gone almost 4 months without a drop. Well, congratulations. Super. Keep going, Adam. We're here for you, and we appreciate your support during the shows. I know, JENETTA, I believe you lost your mom.
Yeah, I lost my mum 4 years ago at the age of 96. She'd have been 100 this year.
And how would you describe the relationship overall with your mom?
Overall, my mum was an amazing role model. We had a show last week about her and her achievements and what she inspired me to do and to become. But if I sit in that place of being realistic, my mum didn't like little girls very much. It's quite a thing. And she always said that little boys were easier. and nicer. And that mantra was always in the background. Even though she always showed the utmost love and care towards me, it was often said. And it was interesting because it perpetuated when I had children, and my sons Stuart and Neil were and my nephew Evan were the be all and end all. And she didn't even have photographs up of my daughters, of Jenny and Catherine, on the mantelpiece, but the boys were there. And it's when Jenny was in one of her rehab sessions where she was ranting about the family, and she said, and as for Shushu, actually Shosho, which is Kikuyu, a Kenya word for grandmother, she said, well, as for her, she doesn't love me. She doesn't even have a, and it stopped me in my tracks, because I kind of loved my mum unconditionally up till the moment that Jenny brought it up. And I was going, yeah, mum's always gone on about little girls being a pain in the backside and little boys being little treasures. And it got me thinking. And then at the end of our relationship, she went into minor dementia and a lot of anger. And it was all pointed at me. And I became public enemy number one in her last couple of years. So it was such an eye-opener for me, because we did so much together, and she was good fun and actually a great mum, I think. So it was such a funny juggling act in these later years, looking back on it, going, wow, wonder what that really was about. How does one know?
Well, thanks for sharing that. And I believe that all three of you ladies are also mothers yourselves, correct?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to go over to Tracy. Tracy, you're going on a trip with your mom, right? For a long time, 13 days, right? That's a long time for anybody to go on a trip with anyone, right? So how would you describe the relationship you have currently with your mom?
So it's one thing that Jenetta said I wanted to comment on real quick. My mom used to say she raised me first. And that was when, I was great childhood, but in our teenage years, we, butted heads for whatever reasons, right? We had very different personalities, even though we always loved each other and stuff. We did a lot of headbutting, just different personalities, and, or trying to make me toe the line. And I'm not really a person that can easily beat you, but not, so some combination of whatever my issues were, whatever her issues were. We all have, like you said, when people spend no time together, they can clash a lot. But one thing, it's funny that you said Jenetta, is my mom always said too, because she had two boys, and my brothers were born one the day I turned 16, so almost a generation, like 16 years younger than me and 18 years younger than me, my brothers. So almost, she remarried, had a new family essentially, and these two boys, my brothers are like half brothers, but I mean, my brothers. But anyway, she said that boys were easier to raise. And I was like, what? And she said this, I swear, I remember seeing this so clearly. And I didn't think, and I was not a wild child. I was not, don't let the red hair fool you. I never smoked any cannabis before I was 18. I never, I was a good kid. I wasn't in trouble. I wasn't off getting drunk. I was, generally a good kid. So I wasn't really a troublemaker, but so I don't really know why she would say that. But she said, yeah, boys. And when I questioned her about it, I remember her being, and I don't know if this is true or not, but she said, like, boys, I don't remember what word she used, but she was almost like, it's like I think she even said, like, oh, they're kind of dumb. And I was like, what? And she's like, no. And my brothers are brilliant, obviously, but she meant like in the way that, like, she said things kind of pass, you have an argument with them and then it goes away. And she was like, women are like, it doesn't. And I don't really hold a grudge. I feel like, like she may as much as I do, but she was commenting on generally like her view as a mom who had raised a girl who, again, I was, in my perspective, I wasn't a difficult raise, but, ask her, maybe it'll be different. I was probably smart ass. I was probably, everybody, I had, I probably challenged her in a different way. She was learning the language when I was born. She's French speaker originally. So she says now, and I don't have any memory of this, but she remembers very clearly me correcting her all the time, which looking back on that may have been seen as like, like I probably wasn't couching it the way an adult would. Oh, mom, that's wrong, or something like that. and she probably felt like, you know, minimized by that a lot. And that probably came out. I think that now, didn't have any perspective on that as a kid. You know, I wasn't doing that on purpose, but maybe she thought I was and was reacting to that, you know. So I don't know, as an adult, you know, you look on, I'm wondering, we're not at the point where we're both old enough to have dementia or anything. I wonder what will happen then. But you know, our relationship's been really good, you know, in recent years, and since I had my child, and since I've been a mom, and you know, we go and meet. We don't get a chance to see each other very often because she lives like 12 hours away by car up in northeastern Quebec now, like right up by the ocean. But a year ago this week, I was there for the first time at her house there. She normally comes down and sees me. And so I feel like, yeah, we have to sometimes work really hard to not like annoy each other. But also, you know, obviously, like, she was a power woman before I knew the word power woman. You know, my parents got divorced when I was 10. She had a lot of challenges. I didn't know any want or need. She, you know, she raised me. And it's like, you know, all my friends had families, you know, that were not split up and all lived in big houses. And we lived in a nice condo, and it was just me and my mom. But I don't remember ever comparing or feeling less than. And she did a great job raising me. I remember her saying one day, "You'll only remember the bad things." And I don't remember the bad things, but I do remember her saying that to me. She was we were having an argument one day when I was about 11, and we were walking home to the apartment building, and we were like, we've been having like some argument. You know, she would say, "We don't argue." You know, my mom, I was a child, you know, but I mean, whatever, we were getting loud at each other, right? And then she said something funny or something, and we both laughed actually. For some reason, I remember that, and it actually broke that moment. Instead of going back to either one of us going back to it, she was like, "You know, you're only going to remember the bad things." And so I remember that moment as a nice moment, actually. So I don't only remember the bad things. I remember a lot of good things. And we continue to make a lot of good memories. And Malta will be a lot of fun. We've never had a trip together, you know, on our own, period, ever. Not even when we were little, not when I was little. You know, I don't remember being alone on a trip with her. And not since I've been an adult, not since I've been a mom of my own with a million responsibilities. She's like dragging me away, going, "Doesn't matter, you're coming, you know, like we need this time." And so we're planning that time.
That's a major gift. Really, it is. Enjoy it. I'm happy for you. And we'll get to hear what happens when you come back.
I'll have her on. If we do that, we'll have to have her as a guest.
Yeah, we'll bring her on.
To be there.
Definitely. Bring her on for sure. Thank you. Let's go over to Dr. Desiree.
Hi, everyone. Oh, my goodness. I spoke with my mom just the other day. You know, sometimes we get on Zoom, you know, have a chit chat. But, you know, she raised me as a single mother. So she's been through some difficult times. And my mom is a type of woman, she doesn't like the limelight. She don't want to be talk about whether good or bad. She's just one of these people who doesn't like anything to do with media at all. You know, I worked in media for a number of years in radio. That's my background as a radio producer, broadcaster, personality, live reporter. And she will always say, "Don't call my name, don't call my name." So she's one of those, like, "Don't put a camera on me," you know, so she's always like one of those bosses, like, "Don't call my name, don't say anything." But I would say that growing up with her, you know, she's one of these mothers that is very overprotective of her children. Of course, she used to argue with us a lot because she wants us to do our best. I'm sorry. There was a pause for a moment. Sorry about that. And yeah, so my mom, she's very hardworking. She worked hard entirely for her children. And, you know, seeing my mom go through so many difficult times and still come out to be strong, it really helped, you know, carve me into the woman that I am today. So I must give her respect, even though growing up it wasn't, you know, easy, you know, communicating with her at times, you know, because she's been through a lot and she always wanted the best for her children. So she was one of those mothers who were very overprotective and just like things done her way. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for sharing that, and we respect your mom's privacy.
Of course, we had some good times as well. You know, me and my mother, I will always take her out for dinners, you know, take her shopping, you know, having lots of fun. And she is so so proud of who I am and who I've become today. So I'm grateful for her upbringing, even though she's difficult at times, but deep down, she's a really lovely woman. Yeah.
Well, she's also welcome to come on the show. She can wear a mask and we'll alter
Oh
her
no,
voice.
she's not gonna ever come on any show. Never ever.
I
You know,
know,
she's
I
one of
get it.
these people's like no cameras, no. She doesn't want anything to
My
do
mom's
nothing.
the same way, doctor. I
No
laugh
pictures
because I
on
hear
social.
you and
My
me are
mom is like, no pictures on social media, so you might have to sneak one in like
same.
on there where she doesn't know about. She doesn't want to be a part of anything to do with publicity, marketing. She's not that mother. She's just very private. Yeah.
My mom's the same exactly. She's like, don't post that picture. I'll take a picture. She's like, that's not for social media. I'm like, well, it's going to be. I mean, for me too, but I put everything on. But no, so you don't get to see many
So
pictures. The
I
back
do
of her
that
head with my baby,
yes.
my grandbaby or something. You know, like maybe the back of her head, I might get a yes for.
Now we'll
Mhm,
know. That's whose head that is.
mhm.
Well, thank you all for sharing that. Just a little bit about my mom. My mom is downstairs. We've been together for 2 years plus this time, and I've always been very close to my parents. In fact, when I was married, my ex-husband and I went to marriage counseling. He was my husband at the time, and basically, it was my father was an issue because I always put my father before my husband, and the therapist said that wasn't a good idea. It wasn't going to work. And I said, well, that's just the way it is. So of course the marriage didn't work, but my parents have always been my priority. And my dad was ill and I left where I was living in Pennsylvania. I moved to Florida for 6 years. I was across the street from them. I had dinner with them all the time. And even before the pandemic, if someone would say to me, if I was visiting my mom in Florida or here in New Jersey, and someone said, do you want to go out to dinner? Only if I could bring my mom. And that's the way it's always been. So we're very close, and it's my gift that I get to be with her and keep her safe. And she's a very strong woman. She's always been very independent. She's always been very sexy. Her little skirts and her little tennis outfits. She's really taught me to cherish every day. You ask her how she's doing. I'm alive. Mom, do you have any, what is your purpose in life? To just live another day. She's grateful for everything and she doesn't take anything for granted. So that's just a little bit about her. So now I'm going to switch the subject, and I have nothing to add to this because I have no children. How are you as a mother? What would you say are your greatest strengths or your learning opportunities? We'll start with Janetta. She's covering her eyes.
Well, I think it was Freud who said first children should be worked with and then, kind of discarded because then you've got it right. I don't mean that literally. But when I look at what I didn't get right with Stuart, my eldest, it was like trial and error. And yet he's grown up into being an incredibly successful being in his work, and yeah, he's got through. Whereas with my second child, with Neil, he was an easier personality, and this is why I'm saying this. I think it all depends on the child. Having had 4 children, Neil and Catherine, my second and fourth, were more like me. So they were easy. Whereas Stuart and Jenny were always testing me and pushing.
Okay.
I'm back.
She's back. There she is. Okay.
Yeah, so Stuart and Jenny were always the one that pushed the edges of the envelope and in a sense made me a better mother. But each child, I was a different mother to each child depending on their personality. And there was a lot I did get right. And I did dearly care for them and love them. And they were my top priority. but as with all mothering, you get stuff right and you get things not so right as well. And you know, I've realized that my kids have got so many tools and skills from what I didn't get right, that if I was the perfect mother, they would be incomplete. So
We'll be getting to
yeah.
meet Neil next. When are we meeting Neil? Next week or the week after on Global Adventures?
Yes, Neil's coming. He's going to present for 5 weeks on Global Adventures. He's an amazing child. You know, he's been in the Okavango Delta for many years. And I think, I believe, I'm a bit biased, but I believe he's going to be an interesting watch and listen to.
I'm looking forward to meeting him. So thank you for sharing. Tracy, what about you? Mother of the Year?
Oh, yeah, ask my kids. My 29-year-old, who's her new mom herself, says I do good. My 19-year-old says, ugh. So I have a 19-year-old. So I became a mom 19 years ago this month. So my son was born, and he just turned 19. When my son was 4, we were privileged and blessed to complete our family by meeting my husband's birth niece from the family he'd been adopted out of, who was in care. And we ended up, anyway, long story short, we're blessed and lucky, and she completed our family back when our son was almost 5. And so she's 29 now. So we've had her since she was 16. So I'm like, how I have a 29-year-old and a 19-year-old now? You know, if she'd been our natural child by birth, though, I mean, I am that old, because it was like she would have been born the year before my husband and I got married. You know, happens all the time. So yeah, I'm that old now. I got a 29-year-old and a 19-year-old. But so my 29-year-old just had her own baby. He's 10 months old at the end of this week. And today she messaged me that today he watched, and this is a mom's story because she was sad. He walked for the first 2 steps for the first time without holding on to anything or anybody. And I'm like, yay. And she says, sad, yay, my baby. And I'm like, oh my God, you're already like, I love the toddler years because I can't, when they can run up to you and jump and hug you, you know, that's what I love. But she's like, but he was so little and now that time is gone. She's already, you know how moms are like, and I get it because I'm sad. I'm happy my son's 19 and, you know, and here's a story about that. Like whenever I think, oh, there's obviously stuff I could have done better. And there's more I could have done. There always is more or better. You look back, I wish I'd done this. I could have done that. I wish I hadn't said that. Always, I don't care who you are or what you know, there's always going to be that. But then I say to myself, can't be that bad, because 2 years ago he said to me, and he recently, this is still true, and again, the kid's 19, it's time he was 17. He said the worst thing that ever happened to him, I'm still laughing, it's horrible. The worst thing that ever happened to him was that time when he was in school in grade 1, and he was outside in the schoolyard, and a bee stung him right here. And while I don't want to laugh at that traumatic experience, if that's literally the worst thing that ever happened to him in 17 years in his mind, and I laugh, and it wasn't even on my watch. He was a fool. But I probably am overprotective. Actually, I shouldn't say probably. I definitely was overprotective. And, you know, you hear scary stories. There's a million scary stories. And just when you're ready to let go a little bit, there's another scary story. I try not to be alarmist. You know, I'm a reasonable person. I don't think anything's going to happen to us. But, you know, I also know when my son wasn't necessarily equipped to navigate certain situations and certain people in the same way that I might have been. He's a different personality than me, you know, and I wasn't ready to let the big world eat him up, and it didn't. So I'm happy now because there's a million stories where it did. So now, you know, I got to cut the apron string. It's funny, he's literally turned 19. We were at a restaurant by the beach the other day, and he went, he was tired of all of us, you know, so he decided to go for a walk by the beach, and which you have to go beyond. It's about, you know, further away, not that far, but like, you know, if I go under the arch, I can see him further down. But I'm like, I guess I must have had a face like, you know, and he's like, I can do that. I'm 19. I can go if I want. I'm like, you're right. Just be patient with me. You could go last year or the year before too. I'm just like, and then I had a revelatory moment because, you know, so that was fine for like a half an hour, sort of. I'm really conscious of the fact that he's not there, but I'm, you know, I'm doing it. It's okay. And then at some point I'm like, okay, they're all laughing at me. He's fine. He's fine. He's a big boy. He's 19. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom, and then I'm gonna go over there and just look, just to make sure. So I go to the bathroom, and so I go to but looking just to make sure it's going under there. Like, I have to go. Anyway, I'm sitting on the rock to go look, and then I see all by himself because he's far away. Not my little bit. I see him. I recognize him. But I see him for real from there, right on the rocks, and he's this big man. He's not just he's a big boy too. Not fat like his mom, but he's like broad. Literally, he could be a football player. He's off there. So what am I worried about? I mean, I know things can happen to guys in Hamilton. They do. Like, people get stabbed, people get crazy people. It happens. But come on, how likely is it? He's not a little child anymore, a vulnerable child anymore. I'm like, wow, yeah, I got to settle down. Right.
Sounds like you're processing a lot.
I'm trying. It's hard, but like I said to the kids, I know I'm overprotective. It's hard. But also, it's hard. It's a bad world out there, and I don't want to. I mean, you've seen so much, and this is a precious little thing to you. That's your own. You just don't want something to happen. But you have to.
Doesn't matter what age.
But at some point, you have to not be like that, because then you're keeping them. Obviously at 19, he's not locked in a room anymore. But when he was younger, like I was really overprotective. Like, I'd be like, when I go, I'd be like waiting outside of the room, or like not outside the room, but if I take him to an event, I'd be the mom that's waiting downstairs out, just to make sure everything's good, and everything was always good.
There she is. She's there again. You sound like you really love him. So you love both of your kids.
Hard. Well, we all do, but we just don't know how to navigate it all the time, right? We all just we can only do our best. It's not always the good. And I always laugh, like, all of our kids, we're the ones they're all going to be talking about in the future when they're complaining about the crazy parents we all have. Oh, my mom did this, my dad did this. That's us. Even no matter how hard, all of us as moms, no matter how hard we try, because there's always going to be something that we got wrong, that was annoying, but as long as, like I say to my daughter, when she's like, I hope I'm going to be a good mom and all that, and I said, like, you are a good mom. As long as you care that much, and that's your number one priority is, I hope I'm going to be a good mom, then you're a good mom. Everything else is just accidents along the way or whatever. You love them, you care for them, you guide them as much as you can, and they know you were there, and that's it.
I'm going to interject here because I remember after I lost Jenny, and I did everything I could do to the best of my ability. But what really got me to realize the perspective after she died, and I said to somebody, if you think about it, no mother in their right mind unbelievable.
We're all on the edge of our seat waiting to hear what she has to say next.
I'm here.
Okay, there you are.
Oh boy. So
JENETTA, I don't know if you can hear us. I think we'll come back to you. Let's go over to Dr. DESZIREE.
Oh, yes. I love children. I believe I'm a good mother because I'm loving, I'm caring. And, all my life I've been involved in so many children lives, raising children, fostering kids. I'm not perfect, flaws and all. And I wish I could have done things better as well. But deep down, I believe that I'm a great, great mother. And I love children, whether these are children that was born from me or they're just kids. I'm a lover of children. I have a good relationship with my kids. I show them love. They love me. They respect me. And I never had any problems with them. We never had anything that is, when you have, let's say, a teenager or bigger kids, we never had any kind of problems with my children. We never get in any arguments. There was no disrespect to me. So far, so good. And I love my children so much. And I love the kids that I raised as well as still a single mom after losing my husband and so forth. But, like I said, there are things that I could have done better before as well. And it's all about ensuring that your children are safe, they're protected, and they're loved and cared for.
Beautiful. Thank you. Appreciate that. JENETTA, you're back with us?
Hopefully,
Okay.
I'll try and say it quickly.
Yes.
So, I was saying to this friend in looking at things in perspective that no mother in their right minds puts their newborn child into their arms and goes, "How can I do the worst for you?" And that's exactly it. Every mother really from before the child is born wants to do the best and be the best for their child. And because we're human and because it's not about getting it perfectly right anyway, that's all that matters, is that your heart is there wanting to do the best you can with the skills you have, the abilities you have in that space time. And that's all you can do.
Very well said. Thank you. Well, it's been so much fun getting to know each of you a little bit more. And I really appreciate just how transparent you are and sharing your journey and opening your hearts about your family as well, because I know that's not always an easy thing to do. And to Dr. Desiree's share, many times our family members don't want us to discuss them, or they don't want to be out
No,
in
it's just
public.
it's just my mother, but I'm sure my other family members are all fine. It's just that my mother, she doesn't like the media, publicity, marketing. She doesn't like the cameras. She doesn't like she doesn't like a lot of things to do. She just like to be laid back, behind the scenes type of person. But my family, they're fine. They're okay. And I'm just grateful that I have a good relationship with my kids. My kids never disrespect me any other way, So I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful for that. Yeah.
That's a gift also.
And
And
my kids are
Tracy,
doing well. They're doing well. My princess, she's been doing amazing. And of course, my son, who I'm raising, they're all doing amazing. So I'm so proud of them. Yeah.
congratulations. I'm sure as a parent that means everything. Tracy, I was going to say you're going away for this trip with your mom, and we'd love to have her on the show, and that would be fun if she'd be open to doing that.
Yeah, I'll see if she'll do it. She's usually like, she's great once you get it going. She's usually like Dr. Desiree's mom. She doesn't like, the camera on her a lot. But like, if I'm like, sorry, we're gonna do a mother-daughter thing, and that's what we're talking about, and our trip and all that, that might be fun.
I had my mom on for Halloween, actually. I don't know if it was last year. I'll tell you what, the last few years are so confusing to me. They just all blend into one. I can't remember. But anyway, she was dressed as a penguin, and she was not happy about it because she had to have on the hood, and she was sweating. But we had her on the show, and she was funny. So, but I'm just
get her back on again.
Yes, I'll have her back on again. If I called her now, she would come upstairs. But we'll plan something out, and we'll be wearing matching.
Beautiful.
So I'd love to spotlight each of you and for you to share with our audience the work that you're doing and how they can hire you, how they can work with you. We do have a dedicated website, and also you're all on usaglobaltv.com. Your pictures are there. People can click and contact you from there. But just let us know who can hire you and for what services. Let's start with JENETTA.
Well, anybody who's feeling that it's really difficult to communicate with those that matter with them, that it feels like they're treading on eggshells, or they themselves are not able to express themselves, or the people they love are being inappropriate, or whatever charges there are, please do chat with me, because I had to walk the walk and talk the talk as a mother, and I assist people worldwide now to speak from their hearts in an authentic way, a very powerful way, with skills and techniques that are so very accurate. So if you'd like to get hold of me, I'm at theepiphanyprocess.com, or you can get me at JENETTA at theepiphanyprocess.com, and I'd love to have a conversation with you.
Thank you very much, JENETTA. I'm busily typing up your contact information and putting it out there. Let's go over to TRACY.
So you can find me on my website is lamouriemedia.com. You can connect with me on Instagram, Tracy Lamourie. That's a great place to meet up. You can also phone me. Toronto number is 289-788-5881, or Beverly Hills number 424-444-8052. Or you can email me at lamouriepr@gmail.com, and I'm always happy to do a free half-hour consult with anybody from the USA Global TV and Radio family, whether they're a viewer or a member or whatever.
Fantastic. Thank you. And I'm actually a client of Tracy's, so I'm proud to say that. And so is JENETTA, and so Sarah Jillian, whom we met earlier today on the Dream Believer show. So thank you.
Is Sarah going to come on this one again, or just, I know I'm excited about Dreamweavers.
Yeah, I'll invite her to be a guest on this show, actually. But you should be a guest on that show too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because it'd be fun to do, but yeah.
Yeah,
We'll switch it up.
Exactly.
So,
Dr. Desiree, how can people hire you and for what services?
so people can hire me for public speaking. I do enjoy communicating from the stage. For your event, I can be your keynote speaker. You can hire me for that. You can reach out to desiree.richardson@gmail.com. So that's Desiree, DESZIREE.richardson@gmail.com. I'm also coming out with my voice app, Desiree Voice app, and this app will be used for healing audio. So I'll be creating beautiful audios if you're going through any situation, you need to relax from a hard day at work, or you're feeling pain or anything to relax your mind and help you go through that moment of self release, releasing yourself, releasing your aches, your pain, your stress. I use my voice as a vehicle to bring you that peace of mind, that relaxation, take you on that journey, knowing that you are loved and valued and so important in the world, and to help you heal in whatever shape or form. So that will be coming soon, the Desiree Voice app. I also a vibratory voice healer, so I use my voice for healing. And I've been getting really good feedback from, clients who have listened to my voice before for healing, and they were healed. But I always say the doctors advice is always the best, but you can also download my voice healing audios, or even pay for a special healing audio with your name and everything in it. So that'll be coming soon. So keep it here for much more information on Desiree Vibratory Voice Healing app, where you can download my audios, or you can sign up for a membership. And then you can listen to all of my amazing audios. If you just want to have a relaxation from work and you want to go sleep, and you want to have that positive energy that just flowing through your body, then yes, you can hire and download my audios for this purpose, and hire me for public speaking. And what else? And also for face modeling. So I'm a face model as well, and a fashionista. So you can hire me for modeling for your brand as well, even though I'm not a size 8 or have that flat tummy, but I'm a face model, so you can hire me for your, promoting your brand, whether you want to sell hats or sunshades or earrings or necklaces. You can use my face for your brand representation. Thank you.
Thank you. Fabulous. I'm always learning new things about you wonderful women. That's fantastic. Congrats again. All right. I am going to post the website for people to actually go over. We have our own website, a woman's prerogative TV radio show.com. And also you can find out more about these lovely ladies on usaglobaltv.com. So that's a wrap for today. We'll be back next week. And in the interim, Please do go over to our YouTube channel, which is USA Global TV, and subscribe. We're seeing a lot of wonderful increases in our viewership, so we appreciate that. And I think they're all the messages that we have for now. We'll be back again tomorrow. Our show right after this, Talking Heads with Mariska Dupree, is off for today because Mariska has a course she's taking, but she'll be back next week. All right. Thank you, lovelies. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye, everyone out there.
Thank you.
Lots of love.
Thank you.
Bye, Tracy.